Yes, editor Naraya is here. Hi. So, um, I am coming on here while I'm recording this video to basically let you guys know really quickly that there will be, unfortunately, some type of lagging or glitching in the video. We were having like technical difficulties with the technology that we were using. It wasn't anything on Aly's end. I just think that the computer that we were using, we don't know if it was like, we don't know if it's some type of RAM, like low RAM or low storage, or while we were talking and having a conversation with Aly, the computer started to get hot and it just started to cause all the glitching, the lagging. Don't really know. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. However, the audio is very clear. You can hear everything that everyone is saying. There just will be, again, unfortunately, some type of lagging. So, I just wanted to come on here to let you guys know that, because I don't want you guys to be confused and be like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Yes, we're still working on dealing with, like, we're coming up with a solution for like the technical difficulties using other apps and softwares and stuff like that, so we can minimize these issues and you guys just can enjoy the show. So yeah, other than that, it was an amazing conversation. We actually completely, not just me, loved Aly, and we thank you so much, Aly, for coming on to our show and taking the time out to talk to us. And we definitely have to do this again. We definitely, like I said before last time, this will not be the last that you guys will see of our guests. So yeah, many more to come, and also less tech issues. But other than that, it was an amazing conversation. Thank you so much again, Aly. And again, guys, we deeply apologize for another technical issue, and we're working on to resolve it. But other than that, please enjoy the interview with Aly, and thank you for understanding. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.
So, hi, Triple B's. It's me, Naraya,
I'm here.
and we are the Brilliant Black Beauties. Today, we have an amazing special guest known as Aly Masters, also known as Natural Aly. So, please introduce her. I would love to give a good opening statement to you. So, again, Aly Masters, better known as Naturally Aly, from flight attendant to full-time content creator and natural hair advocate, Aly has built a powerful platform centered on self-love, textured hair care, and intentional living. She's the founder of Bio Curls, a brand that champions clean, curl-friendly ingredients and a voice that many turn to for honest conversations about beauty, healing, and embracing your natural self. Whether she's going viral on TikTok or dropping gems on YouTube, Aly brings warmth, wisdom, and authenticity to everything that she does. Get ready to be inspired by her journey, her joy, and her mission to remind Black women that our own crowns, inside and out, are worth celebrating. So, again, please welcome Aly Masters.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I really appreciate you guys doing this. It's needed and I'm honored. So I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much for agreeing to come on here with us. We greatly appreciate it as well. To start off, before we get into the main questions, Kiera and I love to do some cute, fun questions with our guests. So if that's okay with you, we'd love to take some fun questions.
Sure.
Okay. So one fun question that I would love to ask is you meet the younger version of yourself at a cosmic train station. You have one sentence to tell her. What do you say?
Ooh, wow. You know what? That gets me emotional because as a child, I absolutely, unfortunately, was not a fan of myself. And being adopted, it kind of created a self-identity issue. And although I was very blessed to have incredible parents, and I look just like my mom, that's a whole separate amazing story. I struggled to kind of figure out who I was and what was I there to offer? What was I meant to be? And I think if I could tell my younger self today one thing, I would say you were not a mistake. And I would just kind of end that with you were beautifully made because I saw myself as a burden growing up and not being wanted by my biological parents made me feel like I was a mistake. So if I could tell my younger self one thing, it would be you were not a mistake and beautifully made. So that's what I would say.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Okay.
I'd ask the question. If your energy were a planet, what would it be called and what would it feel like to live there?
Wait, say that one more time.
If your energy were a planet, what would it be called and what would it feel like to live there?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know why the first name came to mind was Sunburst, but that's what it would be. Um, Honestly, it would just be full of just, I would say, laughter and a sense of calmness because I feel like, especially for me, I grew up in kind of fight or flight mode. And now I am very much in a space of not letting all the negative aspects of life affect me and take over. And I do a lot of laughing. And I would also say I've had people tell me, especially in jobs I've worked too, that I was kind of a burst of light. So kind of like the sun. And so I would say sunburst.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And honestly, I could see that too because when I see your videos, because I saw some of your videos, and even like talking to you now, you are actually like a radiant light. Like you have a very radiant energy about you and glow too. So that actually fits very perfectly.
I love it.
Thank you. I would love to ask. What's the kindest compliment you ever received that stuck with you?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I just actually received it the other day and it stuck with me. So, a woman, she had commented and said that I guess like my natural hair and my fro reminded her of her mom. And in the way of just like the fact that her mom obviously brought a lot of happiness in her life. And she has a sense of comfort when she watches my videos. And so I think that was probably like that comment stuck to me. And I loved that. I mean, I like to bring out positive memories in people, especially if it kind of resonates in a very personal way. So that made me just smile and it stuck with me. And I've received wonderful comments from people. I don't know what that one stuck. So I think that's probably the most kind.
I think that one definitely is even more effective because it's about her mother and that's just so warming.
Yes.
And it's a deep connection too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a very, very deep connection because it's and of course it makes you feel like very like honored too because it's like, oh my gosh, I remind you of like someone who plays a really huge part in your life, let alone your mom, because she brought life. So it's like, oh my goodness.
Yes.
It also is good too because maybe like you reminding her of her mother is like, man, like it probably brightened up her day too. Because I heard that can happen a lot with people when you remind them of someone that they love.
Yeah.
So I could understand too why that is such a very memorable compliment.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm such a like I like to get on like underneath the surface with people. And mental health is very important to me. So that one really struck me in a way that I was very appreciative of.
Oh yes. Oh.
I asked, in an alternate universe, you're not a content creator. What's your dream life look like there?
Oh, I love that question.
I thought
So I've thought about this too. Like if I wasn't gonna be in this world, what would that look like? Whatever I do, I know that I'm helping people. So I know I would want to be in a space of mental health. I grew up in hospitals because my mom is a doctor and I studied psychology. It's my passion and helping people is a passion. So I would be in a place where I'm making an impact on my community in a deeper way. I don't know exactly what that would look like, but whether it's working with people one-on-one or going places and giving talks, I just know that whatever that would look like, it would be centered around making connections with people, letting people know that they're seen and heard, especially those that don't have community or don't have a safe space. I would want to be a safe space for people. So that's what it would look like.
I love that. That's amazing. Oh,
With me, I think alternate. Oh, no, you want to say something?
no. Go ahead. Go.
Oh, I was just saying, with alternate universes, I think it's something that's actually not far out of reach in a sense because every choice we make, like every little choice, just creates a different possibility of different life.
Yeah, I love that. I
Mhm.
really like that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Sometimes I go on the deeper side too, and I think like what, especially like not even just with alternate universe, but like past lives too. I think like I wonder what I was like in my past life,
Yeah.
or like what my life would be like after this lifetime. You know,
Yes.
I thought about that too. Sometimes my mind goes like that
Yep. Same. I love
deep.
that.
In my past life, I think I was a jazz singer singing the blues.
Ooh,
Love that.
I see
I
that. I like
have,
jazz. Sarah
yeah.
Vaughan. Oh, I like jazz. Hmm.
Ooh,
I
I
love
love
this
that.
too. One of
Yeah.
my I need to make it a goal of mine to like go to at least like one jazz club or something because I don't know what it is with the movies that I grew up watching, but every time they would like try to have like a romantic type feel, they
Yeah.
always be like in a little jazz club or something and they'll be playing jazz stuff. And I feel
Piano
like
bar.
right, I feel like you just be a really good mood. And
Yeah.
that's something I have to experience.
Oh.
Um, Lastly, I would love to ask if your Afro pick were enchanted and only worked with a password, what word would unlock it?
You know what? I love that. I love these questions. I honestly, I would say, okay, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's also something that I resonate with, strength. I say it a lot. And so that's also, it's really important to me because again, I used to see myself in a completely different light. My self-esteem was very low. I put a lot of people before me, and it took a lot of courage to stop people pleasing and to start saying no and to show up for myself more. So a lot of uncomfortableness happened and a lot of strength. So I would say strength.
Oh, that's amazing. I think if I had if my Afro pick, that'd probably be the same for me too, or like um either faith or perseverance as well,
Yeah.
because there definitely is those three things definitely what you need in this lifetime, honestly, especially the way life is going right now as well. Like you gotta have that right under your belt.
That's so true.
Yes.
Oh
Oh my
goodness.
goodness. So I definitely agree with that as well. That's honestly.
My password, I don't know. No, actually, it'll be either sunshine, light, or just my name. Either one. One of those
Oh,
three.
that's a good one too. Those are good. Yeah, those are good too. I always consider Kiara being like the sun as well, because she's all about positivity and like she's
Yeah.
always about looking for the light at the tunnel after the tunnel or something. The way they say, yeah, that's her. She loves
Yes.
like I love that part about her. She always is like very hopeful and and very positive.
It's needed.
It's so sweet. I didn't expect any of this. Okay. Oh, well, I was going to say Naraya. I love that Naraya. She's always so compassionate. Like I remember when we make shorts, she puts subtitles. She's like, "But what if the person can't hear it? Then they need to read it." I'm like, "That's so
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sweet."
put captions. I put captions for the people like our audience who maybe, maybe have like some type of like hearing impediment or something. Like they can like still watch it and understand what's like going on or what we're talking about by just reading the text.
Very
So
thoughtful.
thank
Oh,
you.
this is all
Yeah.
very thoughtful.
Okay, so it's time to dig in for some main questions. So
Oh, I just want to
yes,
add a
go ahead.
little thing to let
Mhm.
everyone know that I think we're glitching. I don't know why.
Are we?
No.
Yes, I see it
I
funny.
I
Okay, you good
I
too.
seem fine.
I don't know. On my side, I see it.
I,
Maybe
you're
it's me.
fine though. I think you're
Okay.
okay. I didn't see no
Okay.
glitching or anything. I think everybody's fine.
Maybe it's just my
Um,
computer.
um. So, what was the turning point that made you fully embrace your natural hair journey?
Hmm. Um, I vividly remember this day. I lost my hair to chemical relaxers. So I ended up washing it out in the shower and we overprocessed. My mom was helping me with it at the time and it fell out in clumps. Like you could hear my hair splattering on the shower floor and I immediately started panicking. I was crying and I didn't know what to do. And it was in that moment that I saw myself in the mirror and I literally told myself, I cannot do this anymore. I felt so defeated. I was exhausted and I knew I wanted to start seeing myself in a better light. I didn't want to feel like I had to do all of this stuff to make myself pretty. And it was just in that moment when my hair fell out, I'm not even kidding. It was like, okay, that was God being like, okay, we're done. Like, you have got to start seeing yourself the way that you were naturally born. That is more than enough. And I started that journey that very day. I did, however, transition slowly because I didn't, it's one of those things where you can't just snap a finger and you're all of a sudden just going to start embracing it. It's a mental health journey. And so I did decide to wear wigs that matched my texture, half wigs, to so I can start getting used to seeing myself with curls because I hadn't. So that was an easy way for me to start seeing myself. And the more I saw myself, I became more comfortable. And so then I could take off the wig. So it was a transitional journey, but that was when I was like, I at least want to start embracing my curls. I want to get used to seeing myself with my hair. So it was
Mhm.
that very day that my hair fell out.
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I don't even know what I would have done, to be honest. I probably would have honestly been depressed a couple of days because
Oh,
it's like
I was
you
struggling.
oh, you know, I feel like you never really realize how much of a deep attachment you have to your hair until like something like happens with your hair or like
Yeah.
because I noticed that with me too. Like I used to get my hair flat ironed when I was younger. And one time I had got my hair flat ironed and they cut too much of my hair. And yes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And when I had got braids one time, my grandmother accidentally cut my too much of my real hair. So I was just like, oh my gosh. But so I completely understand. It was not as traumatic as yours was,
It's
but
regardless, for sure.
yeah, but I completely understand where you were coming from, and I also remember too that video. I believe yes, I saw a video of you, a little bit of you explaining like how your hair fell out due to the relaxers and stuff. And I instantly, it's funny that you brought up God because I instantly thought, like in my mind, I wonder if God was just transitioning you to learn how to love your natural hair and put you on this natural hair journey so you can grow your self love for your natural hair. And that's it instantly came in my mind when I saw that. So I was like, okay, so it's funny that you brought that up. Yeah. Okay. Do you have a question you want to ask, Kira?
I But I'll say that it's nice, really nice to talk to you, Aly, especially for many reasons. But also, you're like one of the first people we've talked to that I can really relate with on someone who had not the most loving relationship with their hair,
Mm.
you know. Because I did not have a loving relationship with my hair at all. My hair is very, coily, very Afrocentric all day long. Afro texture. But with me, thankfully, when I finally started to love my hair, this just started like 9 months ago. So it's very recent, me loving my hair. And I never planned ever. I really thought of wearing box braids forever,
Yeah.
or I was trying to manifest. It's very sad every time I talk about it, but I was trying to manifest like my hair being a finer texture, which is just
Mm.
really painful to say. And it always hurts when I think about it. Because when I would do that, I never thought it was hateful. I just thought I just don't like my texture. That's all I thought. I didn't think I was being hateful. Now I know there was a lot of internalized hatred and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
that happened. But now I love my hair. I don't want to wear anything else but my hair, and I'm thankful for that. But the change, it was just, I've just been on like self-love journey for like the past 8 years.
Hmm.
And it's like some part of me kept saying, okay, you say you love yourself. Well, maybe try to wear your hair. Like it just, I kept feeling that. Like,
Yeah.
so I say I love myself, but I still would hide my hair all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Once
Oh,
I
it's a
once
journey.
I picked it out, I just felt a peace I never felt, and I'm just good now.
I love it. The shape and everything is stunning. Seriously. So
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I
When
love
people compliment me, I'm always so shocked because I used to hate it so much. But
stunning. You know what though? I'm always intrigued with the fact that we will never see ourselves the way other people see us. And
Mhm.
we're naturally our toughest critics, but I've always said I wish I could go into someone else's mind for a little bit just to see what other people see because I still have moments where like I'm harsh on myself or I feel like I can't show up and like do a video because my hair is not looking right or something. There's always like something in my mind that kind of comes back every now and then, but I still show up. And I'm a classic overthinker, so I've been working on it. But it's interesting because I look at people and I'm like, you are like so stunning, and they're so shocked. And it's funny because I'm just like, I always say, I wish you could see what I'm seeing. And that's how I feel like I wish you could see it because the shape, I'm obsessed.
Yes.
I love it
Oh,
so.
yes. Yeah, her shape is everything.
I,
It's
I
everything.
tell her too, it
I
suits her so much. Like
Yeah.
it suits her face shape, everything. Like it just suits her very, very well. All I tell her this. Yes. Yes. I even tell her too, like how even like myself, like how we should start like putting like how Minnie Riperton, how like in some of her music covers she would put like the little flowers and stuff in her hair.
oh,
And
I
I was
want to do
like, I
that.
can see us doing. We have to do something
I
like
do
that.
want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
inspired by Alice. The butterflies, the flowers.
yes,
Oh,
exactly.
Like
Yes,
a whole
I
garden in
love
there.
that.
yes,
I
absolutely.
love it.
Your hair
Woo.
blooms.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
love it.
Do you have a question you want to ask, Kira?
Oh, yes, awesome. How has your relationship with your hair mirrored your relationship with yourself?
Wow. Okay, so how the relationship with my hair compared to the relationship with myself? Just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yes. How's
Okay.
that going along?
Mm. So I would say my relationship with my hair now, this is the healthiest it's ever been. I will say, because when I first started and my hair was much bigger and longer, I had an unhealthy relationship with my hair. And people that never saw that, of course, because hello, social media, like we don't really know what's going on. But I never felt like it was enough for a long time. So I kept dyeing it. I would always kind of try to say, okay, well, now I got to switch it up and do something else because the brown is boring or like this blonde is like cliche. Like everyone has this now. Let me do something different. Like I always was trying to fix it or spice it up. I was never content with my hair just as is. So I would say now I'm in a completely different space of, I think just my hair as is I love it. I don't feel the need to have to do something to spice it up with color. I don't feel like I have to do anything to it except just let her be. But the number one thing I would say that I did was I named my hair because it builds a relationship. And I said to myself, wow, okay, so imagine treating your hair the way you as a person would want to be treated. And that completely changed everything for me and my hair. The relationship with myself, I'm 33, and when I turned 30, it was 29 and 30. That's when I finally feel like the relationship that I have with myself is the healthiest it's been, but it took until 29 years old, unfortunately, to really step into my light and to stop making myself small, and to be proud of who I was. I had a habit of making myself very small around other people. And I just felt like that was the right thing to do. So I don't upset anyone or I don't step on toes. I want to make sure I put everyone else before me. So I did that for years until I was about like 29. So I would say both of those came into fruition in my 30s. And I am very grateful. But this is like the happiest I've been with myself and with my hair. But I will say, when you hit your 30s, there's a lot of change that happens with hormones and vitamin deficiencies, and it will affect hair. And so that was something I had to get used to. So that's a transitional phase I'm in at the moment. So I'm taking vitamins, and I had some deficiencies. So that was a very hard struggle that I didn't share online, just because some things I kind of need to figure out for myself before I talk about it. And so that's something that I do want to start talking about more, because it really struck me. I never really realized it until it happened. So
Oh, absolutely.
I think coming into your light at 29 is unfortunate. Like, I know you want to come even sooner. I completely understand, because I get upset at myself. I finally started on this self-love journey at 18, and I'm always like, oh, I only started this in middle school. But
yeah,
some people are like 60 and still not there.
you're right. Yep.
So it's a
Yeah.
blessing.
Mhm.
It's
Sometimes
not even
I
60 either.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
Sometimes I like I get like that too. Like sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I didn't like learn this so late. But then I have to realize like it doesn't matter how, you know, how you get there or how long it takes, as long as you just get there. I have to like now I'm because I noticed that I'm a like late bloomer in a lot of things than other people. And sometimes I beat myself up because I'm like, why didn't I learn this earlier? You know, like it would have helped if I would have learned it earlier. But I have to like give myself grace and just be like, well, listen, it came at the time that it needed to come. And I just have to like, remind myself that divine timing is the best timing, and that being a late bloomer is actually okay.
Yes, it is. Better late than never.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I would
So that
love to
divine,
add. Hmm? Would you say, Kira?
divine timing is the best timing. Is that yours? Did you make that up?
I love that.
No, I didn't. I don't think I messed that. I think I saw that somewhere. Um,
It's good.
oh, thank you. Um, what myths about natural hair do you wish people would finally let go of?
Oh, I literally just made a video about this. Like, I'm not even kidding, an hour ago. Let me just tell you. Okay. I think the number one thing, good hair and bad hair. If I could just get that one message, I feel like that's that foundational thing, which leads to the texturism issue, and then which leads to a lot of people feeling like there's, a better texture. And I will say, society's gross. They have a way of making people feel very bad about themselves. It's all over movies, it's all over social media, it's in the workplace. But I will say that if the hair you were born with is good hair and that's it, period. Like, that's it. That's the end of the sentence. And I need people to see their strength and their power, which everyone holds, but it's easy to shrink it down and put it away for the comfort of others. And also, so you don't make yourself feel uncomfortable, right? If you kind of start standing up for what you believe in, that can be hard to do in certain rooms and spaces. And so, why I'm so passionate about it is because in order to really see your truth and find your truth, you need to be okay with letting people be uncomfortable. And you need to be okay with being uncomfortable. And once you get through that uncomfortableness, I swear, like the end of that tunnel, okay? The light at the end of that tunnel, yeah. That's where it's at. That's where the magic is. But it's a difficult journey, which is why I'm so careful about, I don't want to ever say to someone like, oh, you hate yourself because you don't wear your natural hair. That's gross. And I've seen a lot of women do this. That's not the way to go about it. And that's not true. It's how you say things is going to make someone either feel safe or unsafe with you to tell their truth. And we don't know anyone's story. So I always want people to understand that you need to be patient. You need to give yourself grace and don't beat yourself up. And even if you do, just don't live there. You know what I'm saying? Have yourself a little pity party, because I do it. I'm like, all right, I get like 5 minutes of just beating myself up and then I'm done. But I got to have it. I got to allow the space for it. But if there's one thing, it's just there's no such thing as good hair. I don't care what you've heard, and I don't care what you've seen, and I don't care who said it. I don't care if it's in a song, okay? No such thing. It doesn't exist. And that's the one message that I want people to know.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, I completely agree with that. There's no such thing as good hair or bad hair. No such thing. That's very true. Because growing up, they always like I'm from the South, so like when it came to I have like 4A 3C type mixture type hair, so my hair was like any my hair texture or type of coils or looser is considered like good hair, while like more coily type of hair like 4C 4B all of that, oh, it's bad hair, it's nappy. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? If you, you know, leave me alone.
Telling
Like it was just that. Oh my goodness.
I
So
know.
I'm so happy that nowadays I notice it's still a lot more work that needs to be done, but I noticed that some people like Kiera and more, they are starting to realize that, like you said, there's no such thing as bad hair. No such thing as bad hair, and they're starting to love their hair and
That's
it just
right.
heal that whole like icky type
Noise.
stuff you grow up with. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all noise,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, if you're impressionable, especially at a young age, and you grew up hearing that, and like for me, when my cousin used to do my hair, it was difficult, and she would make it known that it was difficult to do. So I was taking that in at a very young age, which made me realize like my hair is a problem, I'm a problem. What can I do to lessen that problem? Straighten it. So there's so many different stories and so many different spaces that people have grown up in that have like existed in such a long space or such a space for that they've just internalized all of that and that's their subconscious mind. So it's hard to just undo things. So it's work and it takes a lot of time. It's can be done, but I feel like it needs to be done with grace and compassion. We can't just tell someone like you have good hair, so stop complaining. That's not how that works. You need to sit down with someone and be patient with them. Let them tell their story. You got to break it down. There's a whole science to it. So anyway, I get passionate about it because it really is all mental health and how we see ourselves, and it's a whole thing.
Absolutely. Kiera, would you like to ask the question or you want me to ask another one?
Well, I actually want to ask a side question on basically how you dated with your hair, your like your natural hair, how that went. And I know you're married now, but just one
Mhm.
of the questions I really want to ask is, did you, when you're dating, did you ever notice how someone reacted to your hair on a date? And what was like a green flag? What was a red flag?
Mm. I would say if I'm going back to, I would say like when there was only one time that someone that I was on a date with said something that bothered me, but besides that, no one complained. I mean, everyone was like, I love your hair. I think it's beautiful. But I will say I was on a date and a guy asked if my hair was real. And it just, and he was like, oh, I had a headband on, but it was covering like the front part. So he couldn't see my roots, I guess. Ooh. Anyway, but he was like, oh, lift. He was like, oh, like move your headband back. And I was like, sir, I gotta
What?
go.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
oh no.
It was
Oh
bad.
no.
It was real bad. And I was in that moment, I was like, this is never happening again. So, but besides that, everyone was very appreciative of my hair and they loved it. So I cannot complain. But that was only one bad time.
Oh my
I gotta be
goodness.
in a movie. I gotta put that in. We were ahead of me. Like,
That is an invasion of privacy.
Okay.
You see? Oh my
Right?
gosh.
actually, this is another question I would ask because I've been experiencing it. When you wore your hair when it was more permed or straightened, like, and then versus when your hair is out and natural, were there different types of guys you were attracting? Maybe do you think so, or different type of compliments you were receiving?
I would say not necessarily. I just feel like some of the guys were always curious, like about my hair. So like they would see me and be like, "Oh, is your hair naturally curly, or do you always wear it straight?" So I've had questions of just more like curiosity and being like, "Oh, can I see it curly?" But I would say no. And I just be like, "I don't wear it curly." Like I just dropped it at that, and that would make me a little uncomfortable. And in those moments, though, I was like, kind of questioning. Wow, that's unfortunate. Like if I see myself with this person, long term, I don't want to hide parts of myself. So then it kind of made me realize maybe I could wear my hair curly. I did try one of the nights we did go on a date and I washed my hair and left it curly and my heart was pounding the entire night. And this is when I didn't really know how to style it yet. So I threw on a bunch of like really sticky gel and it left a residue but I was just rolling with it. And he was like, I love your hair like that. And I was like, thanks. And so I was happy he liked it, but I was uncomfortable. And I was like, as much as I love that he loved it, I'm not comfortable. So I immediately went home, washed it and straightened it and was like, take a break. So
Oh,
good times.
yeah.
As the last question is because I noticed, I told Naraya this, and I also talked about it on the last interview with Classically Kept. But you've met Classically Kept. You've been interviewed with her. She's so lovely.
She's the best.
So
She's so good.
lovely.
I love her.
Yeah,
So
she just
lovely.
dropped the video with you guys.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah, she just dropped one. I see
She's
that.
so eloquent too, how she speaks.
I know. Her
Everywhere.
outfits. She's so classy.
The
Oh
rap,
my goodness.
everything.
When I tell you, the first
Everything.
thing that I said was like, oh my goodness, I love your outfit.
Yeah.
So
Just
pretty.
so like put together. I love her. Love her, love her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
She knows.
I was saying that I noticed how men treat me differently, even though I'm not dating or never dated, really, never. So even though I've never done anything, but I still notice how they treat me differently, just with the attention that I'm receiving. Usually, when I
Mm,
would go out in my box braids or my wig, or even 8 months ago, I was still my self love, but I had box braids and nice box braids. But I never get any compliments, never hear anything. But now all these men are calling me beautiful, gorgeous. They all want my number. I'm like, I'm saying no, of course, but I'm like, where's this coming from? But it all started once I started wearing my hair.
yeah. Wow. It's interesting. And that's a conversation I would love to have more to kind of hear from other women because I've seen a lot of women say that a lot of the men are just turned off by their natural hair. And it's an interesting conversation. I've heard in terms of like white men seem to really love natural hair. And unfortunately, black men are kind of weird about it. And I'm like,
Oh,
That's so funny you say that because
no.
I
This is
hear
all
that.
black men.
Yeah, that's
All black men.
Kiara definitely told me the same thing too. Like it's all like the men who've like confronted her are like black men. But I also
Black
thought the same thing that you said too. So when she first
yeah,
told me that, I'm like, really? Because I
yeah,
always thought that it was like
I love
that,
that.
like mostly
They're
um
like, you look gorgeous, you look beautiful, could I have your number. And they're all
yeah.
black. And some of them have their own natural hair. Some of them have long twists. Some of them have a big thing. And
I
some of
love
them have it in a fade, but they all, I'm walking fast. I'm like, I'm too pretty.
And I thought the same thing that you just said too, Aly. Like mostly like white men more so like being more attracted to like women with their natural hair and
Yeah.
black. But then it like honestly altered when Kiara told me her experience, and when I also like kind of experienced the same thing one time. I was on my way to school and I had my natural hair out and the man was like basically trying to get with me, get with me or whatever, because I guess I was like natural. And he was like, he had asked me like if my hair was natural. I guess because they're so used to, I don't know if it's because they're so used to a lot of women having like wigs and weaves and stuff like that. So I don't know that that's why he asked me, but he asked me and I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, that's such a rarity now these days. And
Yeah.
he asked me how old I was, and then that's when I knew he was trying to spit game at me. So I was just like, let me get away. Because I'm not interested, okay?
Yeah. So, well, I love that. It's just interesting because I've heard more, I think more online when I see women talking about it, it's typically that the white men are the ones that are more in love with the natural hair. But,
Yes.
hey,
And
I love
when
it.
was a moment that you wore your curls, your afro, and you just felt the most confident and powerful for what with your hair?
Um, Probably honestly my wedding. I just rocked like full on fro, didn't bother to define my curls, and I put some flowers in my hair and called it a day. And it's funny because it's full circle. I mean, as a kid, I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna have like long, beautiful hair down my back and this whole idea of what my wedding should look like. And I ended up rocking a fro and I loved it. But I would say that matches up with me getting my master's degree and also wearing my fro with my cap. So those two moments, I was like, absolutely felt 100% my most confident self.
I love the fro cap. When I graduate, I gotta buy that because I can't have something mess my fro up. So I really
Oh,
gotta look into
yes.
that.
It's the best. It's a Grad Cap Remix, the brand, and it's a headband. It's perfect.
I have to. I don't want to mess my fro up. I don't wear hats now when it's winter time. I'm like, my dad is like, it's cold here. I'm like, it's gonna mess up my fro. Like,
Oh,
what are
yeah.
your hats? When I
Trust.
go
It's perfect.
biking,
Yeah,
I
you'll
do
love it.
when I do this thing where I'm learning how to bike, you know. So I've been to two classes so far. I need at least one more to really get it. But when I go biking, they have to wear a helmet, of course. So I put the helmet on.
Yeah.
And then my dad comes with me and they like to videotape me because I'm really learning. So he's like, I'm 25, finally learning how to ride a bike. So he's very proud. And then when I'm leaving outside, it's a beautiful place. It's all people, different races. Everyone's so nice. And it's just really great. But when
Yeah.
we're leaving and we're outside, I take my helmet off and I just take out my pick. And my dad holds the camera. I just pick out my fro in the parking lot.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I carry a pick everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
I do an extra pick. You should always do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm. I
Oh
thought about
yes.
buying that pick with the fist at the dollar store. It was there. I was like, I think I gotta buy that.
I love it.
Mhm.
Love
Oh,
it.
it's so funny that she says that because when her and I are like hanging out, I'm back. Okay. So when Kiara and I are like hanging out, she won't have her pick, but she'll like pluck out her hair, or like she'll have like her phone and she'll be like like patting it around.
Look at it.
Yeah, she'll be shaping it.
I love it.
I love it.
Oh, the best.
That's an amazing job. Okay, let me go ahead and answer my question. Just give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So, what inspired you to start sharing your journey online and how has that evolved over time?
I would say I started sharing my journey because at that time when like I was starting on Instagram, I really didn't see natural hair. So I was like, okay, well, I'm on this journey of trying new products and experimenting with my hair. I want to share my journey in case it helps someone else that's on the same journey as I am. So it started out with me just wanting to try new things and record it and share it with people. So I was also on my own journey at the same time. And it kind of grew from there that people asked me questions and then they asked about the products. And so I ended up years later, after being on social media for so long, I wanted to start my own brand, which is where BioCurls came from. However, it's shifted away from products because my passion lies within the mental health approach to natural hair and more natural hair empowerment versus a product. So I would say like it's evolved a lot from kind of like trying products to wanting to be a product brand to now empowerment and helping people in a more nurturing and deep way. I feel like a lot of the times products are band-aids. So I wanted to kind of get to the root of the actual problem with people. And then, they can use products as like the cherry on top versus using it as a way to either like hide their texture or to just try to make it something it's not ever meant to be. So there's just different ways that I wanted to kind of use that approach with social media, but I wanted it to be in a deeper way. So I would say that it's transitioned more into empowerment now.
I love that. It's amazing. It's definitely something that is needed a lot nowadays. So that's amazing that you're doing that.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to what we were talking about before it kind of got like cut off basically.
No.
Because you're saying that you speak to a lot of women where they don't always say that is black men that's complimenting their natural hair. It's usually white men. I think that says a lot. And it's very interesting to hear
It
that.
is interesting because I mean, I've seen a lot of black men compliment, like I'll do, like if I'm looking on other mutuals pages, a lot of what's concerning to me though is they're always like saying, you know, I wish more women would do this. And they start kind of bashing other women instead of just uplifting the person that they're, you know what I'm saying? I don't like hyping someone else and tearing someone else down in the process. So I've seen a lot of that. So I think like I love that and I've seen, you know, of course I've seen plenty of amazing Black men being so supportive, but it's not everyone. I never group an entire, you know, group together. It's not the case. But from what a lot of women have told me and from what I've seen, it's been that Black men just don't seem to appreciate it as much as white men do. And I don't know if that's a deeper thing, because of course also it's interesting that I've seen and noticed that a lot of Black men have texture preferences. So they'll tell you, you need to rock your natural hair. And then when the women does it, they're like, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, very picky and choosy, like about their like the type of curls that are acceptable. Like you remember when I was telling you this, Kiara, media, like when it came to the natural hair community and it became this big thing, it wasn't really talking, they weren't really like doing it really for like every natural hair texture like you're supposed to. They were doing it for like a selective few, like again, my hair type, like 4A and looser. That's like the acceptable natural curly hair girl. So, which is so dumb, honestly, because it's like it's a community, so it should be of everyone. Every natural hair type is beautiful. So, yes, I completely understand where you're coming from, Aly.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I literally will sit and just go through comments because I'm genuinely wanting to understand and see if I can see some mindsets. And like but just me being out not long ago at the checkout line, it was a Black man and at the register, and we had great conversation until he asked if my hair was real and then to prove it. So not cool.
Why can't my hair just be my hair and that's it?
Please. Like it was so crazy. He was like, he wanted me to lift my bangs up. And the people behind me are like, sir, what are you even talking? Just put the stuff in the bag. I was like, it was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah. I don't know. What's he in the water or
I didn't prove you anything. Did you see me asking if your hair is your real hair? If you have any? Because most of the time these people be bald and they
right. Dang.
No hate to people who are bald, but just
no hate.
Not necessary, you know.
So like, just give me the compliment and let that be it. Oh my goodness.
I'll say about I can understand the women experiencing more white men than Black men, because I think I always say everything go back to slavery. I had a lot of post-traumatic slavery disorders that I didn't realize I had. I think a lot of people don't know how to had it. Like we didn't have to be picking cotton on the fields to know you got some of it for having color in you. You didn't got to do that. But you know, it was all about divide and conquer, just dividing us against each other. That was the whole point of everything, and that's how it happened. But also, I don't know what makes people's experience so different, because I remember, like you said, there was this one woman, I was watching her video. She had natural hair. And her natural hair was a little looser than mine, actually. Mine was like the tightest coil, 4C, 4D, very tight. Like very, very tight, my coil. No flattening. Her don't do nothing. Very, very tight coil. Her hair was a little looser. And she said whenever she goes out with her natural hair, no men compliment her, try to flirt with her, nothing. When she wears a wig, a weave, men come. And so she's saying they say they like it, but they really don't. But me, when I wore braids, when I wore a wig, when I wore a weave, nothing. First time a guy started saying something to me when I just started wearing my hair. I'm wearing a face mask also. Let's add that in. I'm wearing a face mask. I'm wearing jeans and a shirt, not my favorite outfit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm outside the supermarket. He's telling me he thinks I'm real. He's like, even with the mask, he's like, I can see you're really beautiful. And I was like, thank you. And then after that, it's just been continuous. It's been continuous.
Yeah.
But I don't have those experiences. and it makes I don't know what makes it different for her versus me, especially my hair is tighter than her. My hair is more
Yeah,
so texture. And
right.
I was talking to my mom. She said maybe her energy, maybe she's not truly confident in her hair. Maybe
Mm,
that, maybe it's just energy. Maybe it's energy because I really love my hair. Maybe it's
yeah.
energy because I don't understand why that happens. The difference in that.
Hmm.
You know what? Because I think I remember saying this. Well, I think we were talking like classically kept, and well, I think we were talking about like the confidence when it comes to like your natural hair, and like when you're
Oh,
confident
maybe.
and you finally have that self love and confidence with your hair, you
Mm.
wear it, and I think a lot of guys like they can like a lot of people actually can pick up off of that, and they could tell like, she's wearing her natural hair, she's really
The
confident about
tightest
it,
coil.
comfortable.
The tightest coil.
So
This is not loose in any way.
yeah. So let me go hit up at her, because she seems pretty confident in her natural hair.
That's all I can think of.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
interesting.
difference.
Like I mean, I have not come across, any like guy that has ever been like, they don't like it. But I've have been told like it's a little too much for me from men, or I've had someone say like, can you like make it smaller? So it
Smaller?
varies. I know, yeah. Something. I mean, it's a lot for
Reminds
some
me
people.
of. Have you ever seen that movie with Sanaa Lathan, Napoli Ever After
I
on
did.
Netflix? It
Yes.
reminds me, so like this conversation reminds me so much of this movie
Yeah.
because, like she had one partner who really loved the real her, and then had another partner who was just like you said, well, can you do it like this, or like making her have these adjustments, and it was just like
Yeah.
absolutely not,
Yeah.
so that just reminded me so much of that movie. And
Yeah.
that was also the main character was also another woman who was raised with not loving her natural hair, and then started to have that journey with her natural hair and loving it. So that's honestly one of my favorite movies. Actually, I love that. I love
You
that
just
movie.
reminded me. I need to go rewatch it.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna do that too after this. Kiara, you should watch it too if you haven't seen it. It's really, really good. Oh, you've seen it? Oh, okay.
Love it.
I love that movie, and I love like the when they were at the botanical garden with I don't remember what they call her, but I don't know if they call her like the garden godmother or something like that. But that was so pretty. They were at the botanical garden in Atlanta, I believe, and it's like this beautiful like Mother Nature that's made out of like the flowers and stuff. It's so pretty. I have to show you, Kieran. It's beautiful. I love it.
Love it.
But
Love it.
yes, it reminded me so much of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of that.
I just want to ask to the basically the little part I said, like Ali, what do you think might be the difference from women who experience black men loving it and then black men not loving it? Like, do you think it might be energy? Because I'm not. I think maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, that's tough because it can boil down to so many things. Like, I don't know, where you're living or the types of environments you're in. I mean, it's really hard to say. Like, I will say environments matter. A club environment, versus like a grocery store or a library, there's so many different like vibes. And so I think a lot of it though, I will say, I always tell people you have got to walk into a space with your head held high and make eye contact. You need to act like you own a room because it will be written all over your face, that and everything just gets really small and people can tell if your confidence is not really there and they'll either help nurture that or they'll take advantage of it. It's like one or the other. So I always say it's true that people can see and tell, if you're not confident within yourself, but I mean, I also think it takes a special person to really be able to read energy properly. But I'm like, unless you're walking around and with like, you're like not making eye contact and you're just kind of like, not smiling and, that's pretty obvious. So it matters. It matters how you carry yourself. And when you carry yourself and you're like walking with a purpose, even if you don't really feel like it, you're telling your mind, you're almost playing a trick to your mind to be like, oh, no, yeah. No, I like this. Like we're really somebody out here. So I think it's important to at least like just roll with it, just play it out and pretend if you have to, you know, because at the end of the day, the more you start walking around like that, I think you'll start to actually live it. So, I mean, I think it just takes time and grace, but it's doable. It's just you gotta fake it till you make it sometimes. You know, I've done that because I've told myself I don't deserve something, but I'll keep pretending like I do. And then eventually, you know, it kind of comes into fruition and I feel good. So you just gotta kind of play your mind a little bit.
It's so amazing that you brought that up, because I was literally talking to Kira today when we were getting ready prepping for our interview today with you, and I was telling her like how usually when I go out, sometimes I struggle with social anxiety.
Yeah.
So I started to notice a lot that I avoid eye contact with people. I make myself like seem a little small, and it gives energy that I'm like scared to like interact with people and stuff. So I was telling her how I was just struggling so much with that, and how I was trying to like better with my eye contact, because it does matter, because it helps you like pay attention to what's around you, and also to, like you said, help with reading people's energies and like their movements and stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, I really honestly needed to hear that, because social anxiety is definitely something that I'm like working towards like basically healing, because it is definitely a struggle for me. But eye contact, I learned, is definitely one of those ways. I started to notice when I'm putting practice into it that it is kind of helping a little bit more the more that I do it. And then the whole fake it till you make it and things like that, and just bring it in the confidence, you know?
Yeah.
Putting your shoulders back and just walking. And then when you put your shoulders back and, you know, you firm your posture, it forces you to have eye contact and look at people. So I, every time that I'm walking my dog or I'm going to the grocery store, I try to, you know, do that. So that way I can get more comfortable with it, and it can help me with maneuvering with my social anxiety.
Yes. And I will say, I struggled with social anxiety for a long time, which made people think that I was like a mean girl because I was awkward and quiet. And a lot of people don't like quiet people. That's a whole other conversation. But it was tough because like they see me and they're automatically looking at me being like, oh, well, she has no reason to be quiet, you know? But
Oh, yeah.
in my mind, I'm over here like,
oh my gosh, I'm terrified.
yeah. And so I just started going places alone, and that really helped. And I also, if I'm not quite there yet, I'll just wear headphones and still go places by myself. I'll still look at people, but at least I feel like I have some kind of protection a little bit. So I took baby steps because I struggled with anxiety to the point where it gave me chronic nausea, which I still struggle with. And it would unfortunately trigger a gag reflex, which is so embarrassing in public. And so it happened at the airport like a few months back, and I was almost in tears because people were like, "Oh my God, she's sick," and like, "Stay away."
I know, and then people make it so worse to where it's like you don't want to get out and socialize because they automatically think it's like something negative. Like I dealt with this. I remember telling you, Kara, in my previous job, I was quiet, and people thought I was being snarky, and I'm just like, what? I'm not even doing nothing. I'm just minding my business, trying to do my work, and I'm just terrified of socializing because I'm shy. I'm really shy at first. So it's like I have to warm up with you first.
Yes.
I'm very, very shy. So I have to warm up with you first before I like show my true.
I gotta jump in because Mariah's saying how shy she is, how quiet, how she's not confident. If you met her, she's the most confident person I know.
I love it.
I think you're probably seeing her as like a little quiet. No, when I met her, we were talking. She was asking me for my number. I gave her hers. When we market our like Brilliant Black Beauties, when we're out, we got the flyers. She's the one talking to everybody, and I put her there because she's the best at it. Like she's so good at it. There was one lady we were trying to market to, and she didn't seem to be listening. And I was like, oh no, let's back up. But Mariah just kept going. I was like, okay,
you gonna hear this?
I was scared. I was like, oh no. But she kept going. I was backing up like she looks upset.
I love it. Oh,
But she kept going. And the lady was actually fine. But Niraj, like I think everything is inside, but on the outside, she does not look.
Oh, thank you. You know what? But I tell Kiara this. It's because she's next to me. Like, if she's near. So, cause like
So
when I'm
sweet.
around like Kiara, or like I'm working with her, we're coming up with like our podcasts and stuff and doing things. She helps boost like that confidence with me. Like she makes me comfortable enough to like socialize and talk to people. So it's like it's so different when I'm by myself versus when I'm with her because I'm like, okay, well, she's here with me. So I don't have really nothing to really be afraid of. So I it's a little
Oh,
more easier for me
so
to
deep.
be a little bit more social with her, like with other people, and to talk and to market. To be honest, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't really honestly like now with how I am now, I noticed that I can be a lot more social, and it is because of Kiara. It's because of her working with her, socializing with people, and things like that. So it definitely has. I'm not where I want to be yet, but it definitely has helped me get there. Like you said, the baby steps. So she definitely is the one who honestly helps me with that.
I
Always
love
says that. Oh, it's like it's because you're here. Every time
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
I have a lucky charm.
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's the best.
Oh,
Thank you so
thing I
much.
wanted to say was when you were saying it could be Aly, when you're talking about on how maybe different men, black men maybe relate to hair, say maybe it could be the environment.
Mhm.
With my environment, it definitely is not a place where you see a lot of women wearing afros. Black women are all around. Spanish women. You got gentrification, so there's some Caucasian people coming. But it is you see more weaves and braids in my
Yeah.
neighborhood.
Hmm.
So, but I did have a reaction. I have a reaction to some men that are just being nice to like Black Panther Party. They're older. They're like, wear that hair clean, wear that. They're like, everybody out here trying to be same. Like that, I get that a lot too. But a lot of girls will be wearing their afros in my neighborhood.
Yeah. Anytime I see an afro though, I have to say something because it's my favorite.
Mm.
It
I
just
said it
looks.
yesterday at the bus stop.
Uh-huh.
I
I
saw
noticed
it too.
that
Like, have a good
too.
day.
I
I
still
love
get a little
it.
nervous, but I notice that sometimes I try to because like acknowledge like especially women who wear their natural hair out, no matter what their natural hair texture is, whether it's like Kiara's hair texture, your hair texture, mine. If I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your hair, because I feel like it could give them like that burst of confidence and like just like help them and be like, maybe my hair does look nice, things like that, just to help them with their journey because I know it can be very, very, very. It's hard, and like you said, it's a mental thing. Yes,
Yeah.
I completely agree. I
And I
also
always
would like to. Oh
say,
yes, please.
show up as the example you wish to see more of.
Yeah.
That is something that I'm so passionate about because you never know, even if someone doesn't say anything to you, you never know who you're impacting or inspiring. And I mean, I'm grateful a woman approached me and said, thank you. Now I'm going to go wear my hair out. And when I tell you, I was almost teary eyed because I was just minding my business at the grocery store, not thinking anything of it. And I had no clue. I'm thinking like I'm just shopping for my food. Little did I know she saw me and all of a sudden like a spark hit her. So you just never know. So that's why I love like going out and wearing your hair out allows other people to know if she can do it, I can do it, especially the little ones. That's very important. So
Oh yes, yes, that is so true. It's
yeah,
good to get them young too because you're healing a
that's
generation.
right. That's
Exactly. Yes, I completely 100% agree.
for
I would
sure.
also love to ask you too, because I know you talked about people pleasing earlier. What
Mhm.
would I struggle with people pleasing as well, and like I'm a giver, so I love to like give and like people please sometimes, and I'm trying to like kind of get out, well not kind of, actually do get out of the people pleasing thing. So what were some things that you did or that you're learning now to help you like overcome with people pleasing and setting boundaries and being comfortable with saying no?
So at the end of the day, it's gonna take time to that uncomfortableness is still there when I say no. But I realized that I was in a vicious cycle that I couldn't get out of. And I felt like I was just repeating, history kept repeating itself. And I just felt bad. Like I was never happy with the group of friends that I had at one point. I felt like I had to show up as a version of me that I did not like in order to be included. And I did that for a long time. And for example, I'm not a big drinker. I just never have been. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just never a big thing for me. And it was a thing for them, and it would make them upset, or I would be like called out all the time, or told like you need to like stop, you need to be joining the group and like stop being a party pooper, and like just little things that little jabs that made me uncomfortable that I kept like allowing over time. And I'm happy I caught it because I was worried at one point, like, oh, maybe I should just start drinking more. Maybe this is what social life really is. And I was also easily like, you can make an impression on me because I wanted to be part of a group. Like I felt like in order to belong, I needed to coexist in a way that maybe I just needed to shape into. And that was my mental health and that was my childhood. So I just wanted to be loved. I wanted to be wanted, and that's my adoption. So a lot of what was happening was just my childhood and the way I saw myself for a long time. And so I want to say it was when I started my business, BioCurls, that it was something I loved so, 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 so much. And the people at the time didn't appreciate it in a way that I did, where instead of understanding why I couldn't go out anymore, they thought that I was too good for them. Meanwhile, I'm slaving away over here, packaging orders, talking to vendors in different countries. I'm learning how to do taxes, importing. It was exhausting. I was sobbing and crying, and they're thinking, because I was working so hard and I was learning as I went, and they're thinking, oh, she's just too good for us now. She doesn't care about us. That was never the case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm building something I love so much. So that showed me that I was around the wrong people. And so I eventually slowly started cutting people out, which was hard because I became the villain. And I don't like being a villain in anyone's story because I genuinely have such a big heart. I'm a teddy bear. So it was stressing me out. I was like, oh my gosh, like they think I'm a bad person. That's not who I am. And I felt the need to protect my name, but I had to let it go. So I was so bothered by it. But going through that uncomfortable transition led me to a room filled of women who understood me, who I felt safe with. I don't have to explain myself. If I say no to a drink, no one bats an eye. Oh my gosh. Everyone's like, okay, they keep it pushing. And I'm like, really? Like, I feel safe. And it's still a very small, group of women. I don't have like a big group anymore, which I prefer. Whew, I don't like the big groups. But I feel safe and I feel seen and heard. And so it was worth it. But that transitional period where the light at the end of the tunnel, that moment of you going in the middle and you're not quite there yet is hard. And in that transitional time is when a lot of people give up and they want to revert back to what's safe and what's known. So for me, I had to go through it because I needed a change and I wanted to be in a place where I didn't have to send a 30-page text explaining why I had to say no to you in order for you to be okay with me. So I was just tired and I went through the uncomfortableness and came out the other side, and I'm grateful I did. But a lot of it is that internal work, that inner strength. Like you have got to be okay with saying no into letting people down and just knowing that the right people are going to be there on those days you say no. So it's a transitional journey. It's hard to do, but it can be done. You just got to be okay with being a villain in someone's story.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that just being comfortable with being the villain, because I'm starting to realize that too. It's not that I'm doing villain stuff. I know I'm not. I know who I am, but it's just these people
becoming a villain.
And they're projecting their insecurities onto you, and that is not my problem. So it is what it is. So I just you have to be okay with, like you said, just being the bad guy in the situation, even though as long as you know that you have not done anything bad to these people, then how they feel about you is honestly not their problem. That's just how they feel about themselves.
Right. And it's not yours to carry. People are having opinions and it's not your story. You know your truth, and that's what genuinely matters. And the right people are going to know your truth. So
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that because I needed that. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, would you like to ask another question? Or you
Well,
could
I could
get
say,
into some fun questions?
I, I think I'll quickly add a little tidbit on the whole. I know both y'all said y'all have struggle with people pleasing. I never had that problem. I did have a lot of anxiety, which can definitely make you do things you don't want to do. That's tons of anxiety, stomach issues, all that stuff, panic attacks. I healed that once I started getting into self love. Like that really helped. Basically, it seemed like all my issues came from self hatred. It seemed like all of it came from that.
Yeah.
Everything came from that. But another problem I realized I had that I guess could be people pleasing in a way was always having a like doing what's popular, watching what's popular, listening to what's popular, movie, music. And then it's like, okay, I'll give an example. Like I used to curse a lot, especially when I started. I started cursing a lot when I was like, well, 14? 14? A lot of cursing. That makes no sense, okay? It's every word, right? In school, though, of course, try to hide it from your parents. Except my
Mhm.
dad caught me one time in the elevator. But I was like, I didn't say it. He's like, I heard that. I was like, no. I said other things. But either way, I realized at 18, yeah, that's kind of where the self love exercise. At 18, I realized like why am I cursing? Like, do I really like it? I'm not sure if I really like it or am I just doing it because I watch shows, I listen to music. There's people outside when I walk by my neighborhood, they're doing it. But do I really like to do it? But it just seems like everything I fed myself with did it. And I was like, I don't like doing it. Yeah. So I haven't like cursed in like 7, 8 years. But if I watch
That's
something and someone's
good.
cursing a lot, it will try to flip out because I'm feeding it kind of.
Yep.
So I have to turn it off. I'm like, oh, I can't watch them. But I don't. I really don't. Haven't been in a long time, and because of that, I had to change my music and my shows and my movies and my podcast. I just
Yeah.
changed everything I watch, everything. And even with that, I don't like watch a lot of people. I watch musicians who are like unknown. Nobody knows. Right,
Yeah.
Nariah? You don't know none of my people. Like
Yeah,
nobody.
she listens to a lot more like indie artists, and they're
Okay.
Like
actually really
like
good. But
like
I
I listen to
never heard
all
of
genres,
them.
hip hop. I I listen to hip hop. Let me tell you, I listen to a man who's an artist, and he does not call me out my name. He praises me, and I'm like, this is the type of rap. Because of that, I love hip hop more now
Mm.
because I love hip hop more now. I didn't. I always listened to it. I always liked it, but I like it more now when I listen to hip hop. That's just uplifting. It's just
Yes.
uplifting. It's
Yes.
uplifting hip hop. It's just singing about being on a rooftop and today's a good day.
I like it. Yes. It impacts your brain, I promise. That's true. Yeah.
When
Absolutely.
I give a little shout out on our YouTube and our playlist, I have a whole playlist of the type of music. It's all
Oh
uplifting.
yeah, she
Nobody, they're
does.
unknown, but they're very good, and it's all uplifting, and that's it.
Sometimes I use them on our story too, like on our Instagram when we're like doing like a story and we're like marketing like the podcast and stuff in our interviews. I always like use the artists and stuff.
Yeah.
They have really really good music. So I
Yes.
even told her like they remind like the songs that she has in the playlist remind me like of a lot of like the cute Netflix shows that have like the soundtracks.
Love
It
it.
reminds
I
me
love it.
idea. They're really honestly really really good. Um, do you want to get to some fun questions, Kiara?
Yeah, you should wrap up with that fun question you really wanted to ask. That really good one. Just go
Ooh,
ahead.
which one? It's so good. uh, mm, okay, I have one. If wait, did I do which one did I do?
We're
Okay,
still
this
recording. We're all good.
okay. If you could relive one single day from your real life, but in a dreamlike, surreal version, which day would you pick, and how would it be different?
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Hmm. Okay. This is funny because it would I just said this the other day to my husband. I wouldn't say it's a happy thing, but I would like to go back to times where people were making me feel very small, and I would actually like to stand up for myself. I only ever let people say things to me to make me feel some kind of pain or to feel bad about myself, and I would let them. And I don't know, I just, if I could go back to a specific time, there's a specific time that a girl said some very not nice things, and I just let her, and I made her feel like it was justified. And I just kind of wish that I could go back and say my truth in a way that is not attacking her, because I don't ever want to match someone's level. I just want to be able to kind of make it an educational component of like, you know, the way you see me, I'm not responsible for that. And that is something I wish like I could say to her, because I gave so much power to people. I really did. And if I could go back, I would just want to do it over and stand up for myself and feel good in that moment, because I have yet to experience that, which is good now. Thankfully, no one is, hurting me, but I want to stand up for myself. I did it for years. I let people do that. And I wish that I could go back and just one time at least stand up for myself.
Absolutely. I completely agree. That's amazing. Same for me. Kiera, would you like to ask another question? Or
Oh no.
okay.
I think
Okay.
I don't want to.
Well, thank you so much, Aly, for coming on here and taking time out of your day to talk to us. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We would love to have you back on the show if that's okay for you sometime.
You guys are amazing. I had so much fun. I would love to come back.
Oh, thank you so much. All
Yeah.
right, Triple B's. I'm Naraya.
I'm here.
We are the Brilliant Black Beauties. Please let them know your socials too, where we can follow you and everything.
Yes. So for Instagram, everything is the same. It's Naturally Aly on Instagram, and then on TikTok, it's just Naturally Aly. So, and then YouTube, you can find me at Aly Masters. Just type me up and that's it. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And again, I love your hair. I love when it's down. It has so like animation to it. Like anytime you move, it moves. And like I love it. It has so much personality.
Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aly. We would love to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for coming on here. Please have a good rest of your day.
You too, ladies. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.